Hi everyone, it's me, Julia O'Connell. I'm coming on here. I want to talk to you about a very serious situation. A girl that I follow on YouTube. Her name is Ashley B. TV. Her dog, Luca, a 3-year-old golden doodle, died at the hands of a Rover pet sitter. I do not recommend Rover for any pet sitting services. They do not have a policy in place where if a dog is actively dying, that it can't be rushed to the hospital. I do not appreciate the fact that they are giving this couple the runaround. Here, the poor dog that was in perfectly good health passed away at the age of 3. And it died from fatty liver disease, which could be contributed by the fact that the dog was not eating at the time. The dog was anxious, nervous. And one of the photos that the pet sitter sent, you could clearly see that the dog was sick. Their policies are not aimed for the consumer. They only protect themselves. And sadly, this poor dog paid the ultimate price at the hands of Rover. Whenever I used to pet sit, if an animal was critically ill or if I noticed something was wrong, I would contact the owner and make sure it was okay to go to the vet. This is not okay. If you are in a pet sitting service, you should follow the protocols that the owner wants you to follow. And if their dog is in immediate danger and need to be rushed to the hospital, the emergency vet, you should do so. Because I've heard of 3 different cases now where dogs have died at the hands of a Rover trained pet sitter. I worked in an animal hospital. I have knowledge on certain medications. I have given medication. I had a cat that was diabetic. I also had a cat that had hyperthyroidism. I just really hope to God that Rover changes its policies to make it mandatory that if an animal is sick, that they can go to the vet without, there should be some clause that states, the animal must be taken to a vet. Here, this couple got their hopes up when they got an email stating, we'll compensate you to get a new animal. And here the Rover took it away, stating that was a misunderstanding. I don't appreciate Rover's tactics. I think they're vile. And I do not support Rover or any big company that is on the internet stating they give good quality pet care. Because they don't. You should do your research, and I can tell you where my sister-in-law and my brother go. They absolutely have had wonderful experiences. So please do your research as to where you send your pets for boarding. Because boarding should be a fun experience for your dog, not to mention your cats or any other animal that you want boarded. I used to work at Windcrest Animal Hospital, and they had this state-of-the-art facility. They had 5-level kitty condos. And they made sure the pets were taken care of. And if they saw that a pet was sick, they would take it to the vet immediately. Or call the owner to see what the owner wanted to do. Because a lot of times we would have dogs that would have urinary tract infections. We would have dogs that were vomiting. We even had one dog that vomited up blood. So just do your research and make sure you are finding a place, a facility that is suitable for your needs, that doesn't put a policy above your pet. Because a lot of times, Rover, they can't verify that these people have any veterinary experience or any certificates for working at a veterinary office or any of this stuff. Do your research, because I do not want what happened to this girl's dog to happen to any other dog or cat. Rover is not a good pet sitting app, and I suggest you do your research about pet sitting services. My mom has a wonderful lady. Her name is Debbie. She comes anytime my mom goes out of the country. She's phenomenal. And she's been doing it for many, many years. She's been doing it for a really long time. Not only is she a cat sitter, but she's also a dog sitter. And I'm pretty sure she has policies in place that if an animal is sick, they can go to the vet. I also know that there should be a line of communication with the owners. If the animal is sick, which is clearly sick, there should be a line of communication with the pet sitters, with the owners, telling them this, or to come and pick up your animal immediately. Because things that aren't necessarily normal for their animal could snowball into an animal dying. And sadly, Luca died because he was not eating and he was nervous. Because he was put in a newer situation. I tell people this all the time. If you go to a pet sitting facility, do it for 1 day. Then move it up to 2. Move it up to 3 and see how it goes. I can tell you, I've had many boarders that I used to work with reach out to me and ask advice for things. There was one dog that I really loved. His name was Tommy. And he was nervous around other people, but with me, he was super great because he got to know me. And he was a loving little dog. He was getting to be socialized. And with me, I would walk him on his harness. Because I would never take his harness off, because the owner says he could get nasty when you tried to take the harness off. The harness was there for a reason. It was comforting to Tommy. So just do your research on any facility that you go to board at. This absolutely broke my heart for the owner of Luca. They actually ended up doing a necropsy, and Rover only wanted to pay for the necropsy and then make them try to sign a non-disclosure agreement to stop talking about it. But I believe in Ashley's story, and I believe that other people have been affected by Rover. I've seen some comments and reviews for Rover, and it's not good. Rover has done some disgusting things to animals, and they don't put the animals first. They put their corporate image first over the animals. So please do your research. My heart goes out to the family of Luca. If you see this, just know that you are in my thoughts and prayers. Your dog Luca is up with my dog Yorkie up in heaven. For me, I know when it was time for my dog to be euthanized, He had seizure disorder. He would have 2 to 3 seizures a month. And it was taking a toll on him. And I can tell you, things do get better. There is always going to be loss and grief in the hole where that animal should be. I can tell you my cat Mufasa, one of the first animals I've ever rescued from the SPCA, she passed away from cancer. She had cancer in her liver. She was only 11. I had Powder. She was my diabetic cat. Sadly, she had a very serious ketoacidosis attack, and we had to euthanize her. Sadly, she was thrown out like garbage because nobody wanted to take care of her, and she probably had diabetes at that time too as well. I just feel, do your research, because some organizations don't have a policy to put the pets first. Whereas Windcrest Animal Hospital did. If anything went wrong with an animal, it needed to be seen right away. And even if we couldn't contact the owner, we have a clause in our contract at Windcrest Animal Hospital that stated if we can't get a hold of you, we're going to treat. So Rover needs to really think about their policies and apologize to this couple that lost their dog. Because in the end, you guys were wrong and your policies are all wrong. And you're only out for yourselves. When it should be about the animals' lives, not finding out if you could take a dog to a vet by talking to a technician at Rover before treating the animal. No, this policy is wrong. My heart goes out to Luca's family. I know the loss that they have felt. It's very hard when you lose an animal. It's very hard for a lot of vet techs too that lose animals that they absolutely love and have gotten to know and love. And there's a lot of bullying, cyberbullying, with being a vet tech, being a veterinarian, being an animal rescuer. Cyberbullying and cyber stalking is not okay. Trying to get people fired from their jobs is not okay either. The vets and the vet technicians are not all about money. And people need to realize they're trying to do the best for the animals as possible. Thank you and have a great day. Enjoy your time with your family and friends. I'm sorry if this is a triggering subject, but I just wanted to come on here and discuss it because my heart is broken for Luca's family. Here they had a beautiful golden doodle that was only 3 years old and died at the hands of Rover. Thank you and have a great day.